Once upon a time, there was a man named John. John had been living a mundane life, going through the motions and feeling unfulfilled. He felt stuck in a rut and was unsure of how to break free from it. One day, John stumbled upon a book about personal transformation. The book spoke about the power of the mind and how it can shape one's reality. It challenged John to question his beliefs and to think about what he truly wanted in life. As he delved deeper into the book, John realized that he had been limiting himself with his negative self-talk and limiting beliefs. He began to question why he believed what he did and started to challenge those beliefs that were holding him back. John also began to take action towards his goals. He set small, achievable targets for himself, such as learning a new skill or taking up a hobby. He also started to surround himself with positive and supportive people who encouraged him to be his best self. As John continued to work on himself, he noticed that his perspective on life began to change. He was more positive, confident and resilient. He started to attract new opportunities and experiences that he never thought were possible before. Through this journey of personal transformation, John had discovered a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. He was no longer living a mundane life, but one full of excitement and possibility. He had transformed himself into the best version of himself, and he was proud of who he had become. From that day forward, John made it his mission to help others who were also feeling stuck and unfulfilled. He shared his story and the lessons he had learned, and inspired others to take control of their lives and create their own personal transformations. John realized that personal transformation is not just about changing one's circumstances, but about changing oneself from within. It is about realizing one's potential, overcoming limiting beliefs, and creating a life that is true to oneself. And so, John's story became an inspiration to many, a reminder that personal transformation is possible for anyone who is willing to take action and work towards their goals. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Maya. Maya was a successful lawyer, living in a bustling city. She was intelligent, hardworking, and determined, but despite her success, she felt unfulfilled and unhappy. One day, Maya received news that her grandmother had passed away. Although saddened by the loss, Maya decided to attend the funeral in her grandmother's small village. As she spent time with her extended family, Maya began to feel a sense of peace and contentment that she had never experienced before. During her stay in the village, Maya discovered a small community center that provided free education and training to the local children. She was moved by the passion and dedication of the center's staff, who worked tirelessly to provide a better future for the children. Maya felt a spark of inspiration, and for the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of purpose. She realized that she wanted to make a difference in the world, and she knew that the first step was to transform herself. Maya returned to the city with a newfound sense of motivation. She began to make small changes in her life, such as taking up yoga and meditation, eating healthier, and spending more time outdoors. As she began to feel more centered and grounded, she started to look for ways to give back to her community. Maya decided to start volunteering at a local shelter for homeless women and children. She was amazed at the resilience and strength of the women she met, and she was inspired to help them in any way she could. As Maya's commitment to her personal transformation grew, she started to see changes in her career as well. She found that she was more focused and productive, and her colleagues began to take notice of her positive energy and enthusiasm. Maya's personal transformation had a ripple effect on those around her. Her family and friends were inspired by her newfound sense of purpose and began to make positive changes in their own lives. The staff at the shelter where she volunteered were motivated by her dedication and commitment, and they were able to provide even better support to the women and children they served. Over time, Maya's efforts paid off. She was able to combine her legal expertise with her passion for social justice and started working for a non-profit organization that provided legal aid to marginalized communities. Maya found a sense of fulfillment that she had never experienced before, and she knew that her personal transformation had been the catalyst for this positive change in her life. In the end, Maya realized that personal transformation was not just about changing herself, but about inspiring others to make positive changes in their own lives. She felt a sense of gratitude for the people and experiences that had helped her along the way and knew that her journey was far from over.
Heart of the countryside, there lived a young man named Jack. Jack had grown up in Maplewood all his life and had always been content with his simple existence. He worked as a mechanic in his father's garage and spent his evenings watching TV or hanging out with his friends at the local bar. But deep down, Jack knew that he was meant for more. He yearned for something more meaningful, something that would give him a sense of purpose and fulfillment. And so, one day, he made the decision to embark on a journey of personal transformation. At first, Jack had no idea where to start. He had never been one for introspection or self-reflection, but he knew that if he was going to change his life, he needed to understand himself better. And so, he began to read books on self-improvement and personal growth. As he delved deeper into the world of personal transformation, Jack began to realize that he had been holding himself back. He had always been afraid to take risks, to pursue his dreams, and to be true to himself. But now, he knew that he had to face his fears head-on if he was going to grow and evolve. Jack started by making small changes in his daily routine. He began waking up earlier, going for a morning run, and eating a healthier diet. He also started practicing meditation and mindfulness, which helped him to quiet his mind and focus on the present moment. But it wasn't just about physical changes. Jack knew that he had to work on his mindset too. He had always been a pessimist, always expecting the worst. But now, he began to shift his perspective, focusing on the positive aspects of his life and visualizing a bright future for himself. As he continued to work on himself, Jack noticed that his relationships with others began to improve. He was more open and honest with his friends and family, and he started to attract new people into his life who shared his vision for personal growth. One day, Jack's father called him into the garage. "Son," he said, "I've noticed a change in you lately. You seem happier, more confident. What's going on?" Jack took a deep breath and told his father about his journey of personal transformation. To his surprise, his father nodded understandingly. "I always knew you were meant for something more," he said. "I'm proud of you, son." As time passed, Jack's transformation continued. He started taking classes at the local community college, studying business and entrepreneurship. He also started his own side business, fixing up old cars and reselling them for a profit. Before he knew it, Jack had become a different person entirely. He was confident, driven, and passionate about his life. He had shed his old self and emerged as a new, improved version of himself. And as he looked back on his journey, Jack knew that the key to personal transformation was not just about making external changes, but about changing one's mindset and outlook on life. He knew that he still had a long way to go, but he was excited for the journey ahead, and he knew that anything was possible if he believed in himself.
As a young girl, Emma had always been shy and reserved. She was content to stay in the background and observe the world around her. She had a few close friends, but she never felt truly connected to anyone. Emma often found herself daydreaming about a life that was different from the one she was living. As she grew older, Emma's shyness began to hold her back. She struggled to make new friends and was always nervous in social situations. She felt like she was stuck in a rut and that her life was passing her by. One day, Emma stumbled upon a self-help book that promised to transform her life. Skeptical at first, she decided to give it a try. She began to read the book every day and soon found that it was changing the way she thought about herself and her life. The book inspired Emma to take action and make positive changes in her life. She started to attend social events and meet new people. She took up new hobbies and interests, and began to live life to the fullest. Over time, Emma's transformation became evident to everyone around her. Her confidence grew, and she began to radiate positivity and happiness. Her friends and family were amazed by her transformation and inspired by her new outlook on life. Emma's personal transformation was not easy, and there were many times when she felt like giving up. But she persevered and continued to push herself out of her comfort zone. With each small step, she grew stronger and more confident. Now, Emma is living a life that she never thought was possible. She has a fulfilling career, a loving relationship, and a close-knit group of friends. She has traveled the world and has experienced new cultures and adventures. Emma's journey is a testament to the power of personal transformation. With dedication and hard work, anyone can change their life and become the person they want to be. Emma's story is an inspiration to all who are looking to make positive changes in their own lives. Subscribe to Your World Tech YouTube channel for more information and videos.